Good evening, Darklings. Tonight, we mark an incredible milestone. 19 years of exploring shadows together, uncovering the unexplained, venturing into the realms where reality bends and mysteries abound. From ghosts and ghouls to cryptids and cosmic wonders, it's been one wild ride. And tonight, we celebrate with stories that'll make your hair stand on end, unless you're like me and have no hair. We'll tease the veil on eerie encounters, chilling whispers of witchcraft, and a cryptic connection that might just be lurking closer than you think. A sinister blaze tied to supernatural claims, the legend of Sasquatch leading to a tragic mystery, and other spine-tingling tales are on the menu. Stay tuned because this isn't just any night. It's a celebration of the extraordinary, the inexplicable, and you, my darklings, for being part of the journey. Buckle up, 19 years is only the beginning. I'm Dave Schrader, and this is your gateway to the unknown. This is the Paranormal 60 News. Hello, my darklings. Thank you so much for joining me here this evening. I'm excited to do this show. It is the new year. We're kicking off 2025, and it was this day in 2006 when I began my journey into the strange and supernatural realm of paranormal radio with Darkness Radio back on KLBB AM 1440 in Minneapolis, and had a great time. Tim Dennis and I launched that program, and we rode that program together for about 16 years, 17 years, until I stepped away for a little mental clarity and then rebooted with the Paranormal 360. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate Tim for 19 years of continued work on the paranormal radio show, Darkness Radio. Thank you for bringing me to the big show and opening that door and allowing me back into radio after many years. It was truly an honor and a privilege to work alongside you for all those years. And I wish you nothing but continued success. And may we both see another 21 years working in this field. Tonight, originally, I planned on just doing the show alone to kind of revel in the glory that is me. But Chachi had gotten wind that I was going to do the show, and it was an anniversary show, my 19th anniversary, and reminded me that with his schedule and my schedule not always meshing, he would love to join me on the program tonight. I was a little conflicted because the Colonel couldn't join us, and I hadn't invited Tressa, Sweet Tea, or Greg to be a part of the program. But they're regulars on the program, able to join me, and I don't know when I'll be able to connect with Chachi to have him back on. So Chachi will join us in a few moments, and we'll carry on with my 19th anniversary show. And as we launch into a brand new season, a brand new series of the Paranormal 60, I'm very excited about all of this and the opportunities and the things that just are afforded to me. I've been a very lucky man to get to live my dream of marrying radio with the paranormal. 19 years. I could not fathom. This is the longest working relationship, the longest any relationship I've ever had. 19 years. That's because I love doing it. It's because I love the work. I love you. I love the people that tune in and encourage me to continue being quizzical. It's offered me the opportunity to release books and TV series. And there's exciting news. I leave tomorrow to begin filming a brand new series with Shane and Cindy, Paranormal Mysteries. And we'll be filming our first couple of episodes. It's going to be fun to get back out there. We're doing 6 episodes for Stream Beacon TV, and I'm privileged and proud to be a part of that. I've also been working this last year very diligently on a very cool paranormal documentary, and we only have a few more days to shoot that documentary together and complete it, and we're hoping to have that out sometime in 2025 as well, probably around the fall is what we're hoping for, and who knows, it might open up a door to another series. But my exploration into the strange and the supernatural 19 years in is nowhere near over, folks. I've still got a lot on my plate, a lot of things I want to do, a lot of places I want to go, a lot of things I want to see and experience, and I hope that you'll come along with me on that journey. Man, what a fun ride. It's because of you, my Darklings, my army of darkness, that I've been able to travel the world, to see amazing places, meet amazing people, speak to some of my all-time favorite actors and musicians and comedians, and realize that the world is a lot smaller, because what seems to separate us by wealth or separate us by distance comes together when it comes to the feelings of the supernatural. And it's really just been an epic journey. And I know you're thinking, but Dave, it's only 19 years. Don't get all weepy on us. It's not like it's 20 years. That's coming quick. That's coming quick, man. This year, I will be going to my 40th high school reunion. Time just keeps slipping into the future, right? We've got a lot of stories to cover tonight. We've got some fun stuff. We've got a brand new Upon Further Review to cover, a movie review, of course, and then not one, but two ParaTunes. Why? Because Chachi's here, and we're going to celebrate when Chachi's here, because that man loves his music, and he loves paranormal music, and the marriage of both, why, that's what brings him to the show. Good evening, Chach.
Dave, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing well. How about you?
Man, I can't believe it's already the new year.
I know. It's the new year. It's a new beginning. What is it? I think today this launches season 4 of the Paranormal 60. Can you believe that?
How many episodes are we in now?
2,875,000.
I can't. So this is an anniversary show.
Yeah. This is we're like, I think this is like our 308th episode of the Paranormal 60.
I wish I would have made a shirt for that.
Yeah, that's all right. You're wearing a Paranormal 60 shirt. Look, I'm going old school. I've got my old Darkness Radio shirt on. You've got the Paranormal 60. Yeah. And consider, man, look at this. And I don't mean this as a brag. It just, it blows my mind. I used to listen to Coast AM radio in my car to Art Bell and George Norrie and Ian Punnett and George Knapp as they would take us through these strange stories and encounters, and hear from experiencers and scientists and doctors and just so many different elements of these stories, sometimes so riveted I couldn't get out of my car. And the idea that I got to host my own radio show, Darkness Radio, that led into becoming a host for Coast AM for 5 years, and then being asked to step in as the replacement for Art Bell after he passed away on Midnight in the Desert. I'm the only other radio show host in the world that got to do Art's first and final paranormal radio shows, Coast to Coast and Midnight in the Desert. What a great honor that's been. And then I did Beyond the Darkness when we moved over to the Jericho Network. We reverted back to Darkness Radio when we moved over to Stitcher, and then leaving Darkness Radio after 16, 17 years to start the Paranormal 60. It's been a wild ride, buddy, and I'm glad you're a part of this with me. And I thank you again for reminding me that we don't get to work often together now because of our schedules, and it's going to get even more hairy with me on the road filming. So that's why I'm glad that you're able to join me here tonight. And again, there's no slight to Greg, our paranormal detective, or Sweet Tea, or the Colonel. The Colonel, unfortunately, is unavailable because of work. Sweet Tea is probably just kicking rocks right now and pissed at us that we don't have her here. It's no offense. We love you. We appreciate you. You'll be back. I don't know when I'm going to see Chachi again, so we're going to have this time together and share some stories.
And in 2025, I'm going to invite you on the Chachi Network.
Oh, you have your own network.
I'm doing the Chachi Network in 2025.
That's exciting. I haven't heard about that. It's
I haven't really thought much about it. In fact,
obviously
on mine now. But I'd like the Chachi Network someday.
Will you be the host of Captain Tardy, the show?
Is that a show?
Oh, I see your name is Chachi Captain Tardy. So
I'm just going to be honest, okay? I missed the beginning of the show. I don't know how you introduced the fact that I was 7 or 8 minutes late.
I was doing my introductions as I normally do, so nobody even noticed.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
Well, I am a huge college football fan, Dave. Huge.
Mm-hmm.
University of Texas is my team. Anybody that out there watches it. Today was a barn burner, 2 overtimes for us to win. And I spent the entire day drinking. And at one point, I'm just going to be honest. I don't know if you call it fell asleep or passed out, either one. I was not of this life anymore. And so luckily you had texted my better half and said, hey, let Chachi know we got 2 minutes till we're on the air. And I immediately jumped up, already had the shirt on because I wear this 24/7.
She broke out the paddles.
Oh, it was, my heart is still pounding. Refilled the glass and we're good to go. So let's jump in.
You sound a little far away from your mic. I don't know what's going on with that, but if you can move in a little closer or so, let's make sure we can hear all of your dulcet tones today, because you've got 4 stories tonight.
There's no way I'm going to get through 4 stories.
You have to.
Telling you right now.
We have 8 stories to read together. And I think I gave you some of the easiest ones up front. So
if they have words, they're not easy, Dave.
Well, how about this?
Okay.
I know that you prefer to be more oiled for this. So what I'd like to do is, in your honor, since you're here, let's begin like this.
It's time now for ParaTunes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And for our very first ParaTune, actually, this is a song that was sent in to me, and I want to make sure that we got to play it. This was, oh gosh, where did I jot it down here? Oh, good grief. I'm the worst. I'm the absolute worst. I had it written down and everything. Beware the Yule Cat is the name of the song. His name, the creator of this music, is listed right on the video. So let's just do that, because Yule Cat's more than just Christmas time. It leads into Christmas and into the beginning of the new year together. So I figured this would be a good way to start it off. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Beware the Yule Cat.
The tale of the Yule Cat is a fearsome read. It hunts for men, of mice it has no need. Don't you know Yule is here? In the cold, in the dark, it's on the hunt, it's huge indeed. Prowl for children, that's what it wants to do. Don't you know Yule is here? In the cold, in the dark, it gets what it needs. Yule is here.
Well done. Thank you so much. Love the song. I love watching all the people that are like, dude, I'm just picturing the sweaty, greasy guy from Lost Boys playing the saxophone during that song, or sexy phone, as Tabitha calls it.
That was a big 80s kind of nod right there. I really
Yeah,
like
it certainly
that.
was. Yeah. And I like
I didn't get Lost
narration.
Boys. What's that?
Yeah. The narration was great. It just had that great flow going all the way through.
I got a little bit of the St. Elmo's Fire vibe, little Rob Lowe playing the saxophone.
Do you? Wow.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you. Nobody should have a little Rob Lowe playing the saxophone vibe ever.
Little Rob Lowe.
Little Rob Lowe. All right, Chach, I see your glass is fully filled and ready to go. I've got my rum and Coca-Cola. Let me take a swig.
Coke and rum. Coke and rum.
And you have the very first story of the night. Let us begin.
Listen, I was late. I passed out earlier today, so I don't even know what the show is.
You're sure? Are you sure you're late and you passed out? Oh, wait, let me check my surveillance camera. Oh, yep, there you were. Definitely unconscious.
That is me, folks. I wish I could say that was a stock photo. That was me.
Oh, no, it's a stock photo of you passed out watching college football.
Yes. Okay. Well, here we go. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's jump in. The truth about the grays. They may actually be the purples, Dave.
What?
Oh, yeah. Listen to this. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around for a cosmic revelation that might just change the way we think about our neighbors in the universe. Forget the classic image of little green men. According to a fascinating new study. How would you say that, Dave?
I would say it's study because that's the way the word is written, but whatever. It's a new year. Start off however you like.
Let's go with steady.
Okay.
Extraterrestrial life might not be green after all. It might be purple. That's right. The next big leap in alien speculation takes us straight to the color spectrum, and it's as bold as it is beautiful. You know what that was, Dave? That was a Dave Chachi soap opera reference.
Oh, the bold and beautiful. You're right.
You got it. Yep. Here's the science behind the splash of color. This fresh hypothesis suggests the extraterrestrial life could only rely on a unique mechanism to harness energy from the sun.
Oh.
Instead of the chlorophyll-driven photosynthesis we know on Earth, alien organisms might actually use a molecule called retinol. Retinol's a purple pigmented protein. Say that 3 times, Dave. Purple pigmented protein, capable of absorbing green light and reflecting a mix of red and blue hues, thus creating a striking violet, i.e. purple shade. It's the same mechanism found in certain microbes here on Earth, like halobacteria, which thrive in extreme environments hostile to most forms of life. But why retinol, you ask, Dave?
Why retinol?
Because of planets orbiting stars with different light profiles than our sun, chlorophyll simply might not cut it. In fact, retinol-based photosynthesis could be more efficient in alien atmospheres, allowing life to adapt to diverse conditions. Scientists argue that the approach might make purple organisms a universal phenomenon, painting extraterrestrial ecosystems with hues we on Earth never imagined. Isn't science fiction, Dave? The concept known as the purple Earth hypothesis even has roots here at home. Researchers propose that early Earth might have been dominated by purple microorganisms before the green plants actually evolved to take center stage. If it happened here, why not on other planets?
Right.
Okay, I like where you're going here. Imagine standing on a faraway world, surrounded by shimmering violet forests, lavender oceans, or even purple-skinned alien beings. The implications for astrobiology are profound. As we search for signs of life here on Earth or on distant planets, it might be time to recalibrate our instruments, not for the telltale green of photosynthesis, but rather for the royal color of purple. So, next time you gaze up at the stars, wondering if we're alone, Picture this, Dave. Close your eyes.
Okay.
A galaxy filled with life forms dressed in shades of plum,
Mm.
mist, and lilac. The
Oh.
cosmos might just be more colorful than we ever dared to dream. And who
Aver,
knows?
you say?
Who?
Aver? More than you ever thought to think?
Aver. Ever. Aver. Yeah. But who knows? Let's be honest.
Who knows?
Right? Our
Right.
first encounters might have been with little green men for decades, but the majestic purple people eater may be next, Dave.
It's interesting that as you read the story, your glasses are reflecting purple back. You've had kind of a purple hue to you. Is there something you'd like to admit to us on the show tonight?
Not tonight, Dave. This is only the 308th show.
Okay.
Let's give it some
That's
time.
true. I know let's take our time with it. I got
Yes.
you. All right. You've heard of the wow signal, haven't you?
The what?
The wow signal?
Like when I walk into a room and people go, wow, like that?
No, that's a totally different type of thing.
Mm-mm.
Wow is right, though. This is pretty exciting. I've got a space age story for you, Chachi. That's been, this has been brewing for almost 50 years now. So if you don't mind, jump into my little time machine of love here, and let's go back to 1977 when disco was king, and astronomer Jerry Ehrman was scanning the cosmos with his big butterfly collar open to his navel and gold chains when he stumbled on something extraordinary. The 1977 discovery of the legendary wow signal, when Jerry Ehrman first spotted this mysterious 72-second burst of radio waves from the constellation Sagittarius. It wasn't just astronomers that were captivated, it was the entire world, because theories began to abound on its origin, ranging from the scientific to the wildly speculative, and all for good reason. The signal was a narrowband radio wave, something that doesn't naturally occur in space, which led many to think, could this be a message from extraterrestrial intelligence? Well, one of the most popular theories was that the signal was a deliberate transmission from an advanced alien civilization. After all, its intensity and the frequency, they were consistent with something produced artificially. So was it interstellar hello from a distant star system? Some even speculate that it might be a beacon, like a marker, a buoy to indicate intelligent life's existence. And to bolster that idea, the signal's frequency, which was 1420 megahertz, is considered special in astronomy because it's the natural emission frequency of hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. And scientists believed an intelligent species might use it as a universal language in order to communicate. Kind of a precursor to the internet, Chachi. Texting, if you will. Yeah, others proposed more grounded explanations. Could it have just been a signal from a passing satellite, or perhaps interference from Earth-based technology? Well, those ideas were quickly dismissed as the signal's characteristics didn't match any known terrestrial source. And then there were the cosmic oddities. Some hypothesized that the signal came from a star system with a unique natural phenomena, like a pulsar or a rare interaction between celestial objects. But again, no known astrophysical events ever fit the bill. So for years, that wow signal remained an unsolved mystery. It's called the wow signal because when he found it on the little ticker tape that came out, he wrote the word wow next to the signal and circled the number of the 1420 megahertz to show where it came from. And it's remained this unsolved mystery, inspiring everything from, again, scientific debates to pop culture references. And it became a symbol of humanity's search for extraterrestrial life. Kind of a tantalizing hint, Chachi, that maybe we really aren't so alone in this universe. Now, if we fast forward to today, we might finally have the answer. Scientists led by Professor Abel Mendez from the University of Puerto Rico think they've cracked the code. And no, it's not little green men. It's not little purple men either, Chachi, before you ask. Instead, the wow signal may have been a natural astrophysical event. What's that mean? Well, the deal is they're pointing fingers at a cold hydrogen cloud that got a sudden jolt of energy, possibly from a neutron star outburst. this energized cloud could have emitted a powerful radio signal right at the frequency Ehrman picked up that fateful day. And guess what? The team has observed similar weaker signals back in 2020 backing this theory up. So does this mean that aliens are completely off the table? Not entirely. And the universe is vast and the jury's still out. But for now, it seems like nature may have been the one behind this spatial orchestra that blared its way across the galaxy into our brains. But they're going to continue researching. I just think it's fascinating that over 50 years later, we're still researching it, hoping to find answers.
Dave, in the chat, Ray Lancashire asked a great question. Why would an advanced species use radio waves?
Maybe because it's something that would go long enough, right? I mean, we know that our radio waves are continuing on through space, and it may not have even been, think about it, may not have even been intentional. If they were evolving like we were, and we're working on something, they may have just put out a pulse radio burst just to see how powerful it is and how long it would take to travel certain distances. And that may be why it was nothing super intelligent that came across. But maybe also because radio would be the basic fundamental that they created. So they would think, let's go to the rudimentary source for others and maybe less advanced societies. I don't know. That would be my take on it. I could be wrong. Probably not, because it's my show, and I don't know if I've mentioned, but I've got 19 years experience.
Soon to be 20 on the Chachi network.
Well, we got to start there and then eventually make it to 20.
You can't just start at 20?
No.
Oh.
Sorry. No, you don't just start off at that point. But, hey, I like your chutzpah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. You've got another story. Believe it or not. Get your drinks ready, kids. This is going to be good.
I swear to you, on a stack of whatever you believe in, I have not read this story. So,
oh, we believe you already. Trust me.
Really?
Yeah. No, I firmly believe you.
Okay, here we go. The signatures of life in the cosmos may be revealing itself, Dave.
Ooh.
Get ready for a cosmic concept that's equal parts mind-blowing and sci-fi.
Okay.
Here's the question I'm going to pose to you.
Sure.
What if advanced alien civilizations are out there terraforming entire planets, Dave? Not just surviving, but really reshaping their environments to suit their needs. A new study from the University of California, Riverside, which I applied to and could not get in, says it might not be as far-fetched as it sounds, actually. Here's the idea. I'm going to walk this through for you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it slow in case you have any questions.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not a bright man.
These civilizations could use ultra powerful greenhouse gases. Now, my favorite greenhouse gas is the sulfur hexafluoride. Okay.
Wait a minute. So sulfur hexafluoride, you can say without stumbling at all.
It's my favorite gas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have. You're right. You did mention that.
If I never heard of it, then sure, it's going to make me stumble. But this is my favorite gas. So imagine if they use that to warm up otherwise uninhabitable planets. These gases, far more potent than our earthly carbon dioxide, could act like a planetary blanket, turning frozen wastelands into alien-friendly worlds. It's the cosmic equivalent of a home makeover. So here is where it gets a little interesting, Dave.
Okay.
Our technology, which includes the James Webb Space Telescope, is already equipped to spot these gases. By analyzing the light coming from these distant exoplanets, we can detect unusual atmospheric chemicals that don't occur naturally. Basically, alien fingerprints in the sky. Check this out. If we find these techno signatures, we wouldn't just be discovering life, we'd be discovering entire civilizations advanced enough to re-engineer planets. Imagine the implications, right? It's not just about proving that we're not alone. It's about intelligent something or other. Nope, I was so close. It's about encountering intelligent life that's way ahead of us in the cosmic game, Dave.
I love that you knocked out sulfur hexafluoride, James Webb Telescope, technosignatures, and the word civilization. Civilization
That's what
was
we
what
call
got
home
you.
runs in the industry, Dave. Home
Is that?
run.
It was
Oh,
pretty good. I
oh,
think it was more like a sacrifice bunt, if I'm being honest with you, but it
I've
was
been
pretty good.
sacrificing my body the entire day. That's correct.
Yeah, that's pretty telling. Very cool, very exciting. Speaking of cool and exciting, you are in Texas, if I remember correctly. Isn't that where you live?
I am. Yes, indeed.
There are many of our friends around the world, Chachi, that they reach out to me and they're like, Dave, I want to own my own haunted location. I want to be a part of something major. I want to have a place of my own that I can investigate. I can invite investigators to come investigate. We can put together our collective brains and work on something. And I thought, boy, if only, if only. And I wished upon a star last night on New Year's Eve. Yeah, I was looking out the window, sipping on some screwball
Juice.
no screwball eggnog, which is like the equivalent of white man's gin and juice. And I was looking up at the stars and the scars, looking for I too have been drinking, but I stayed awake. I was looking at the stars saying, hear me, O Lord, and deliver unto me a haunted location that I can tell people about that might actually be available. And lo and behold, unto them a message was sent, and the stars lit in the sky, and a beam crossed through my computer screen to Facebook in between my eyes. And lo and behold, I saw a sign, and that sign said the 1886 Old Park Hotel in Texas was going to become available.
That's not close to me. That's a few hundred miles away, but okay.
You're still in Texas, though. I mean, that's pretty close. That's Texas.
If you're in the state, it's got to be close.
Well, you know who is in the state? Dan LaFave, the owner of said hotel, and he is here. Hey, Dan, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you guys.
So, boy, this is the 1886 Old Park Hotel. You're putting it up for sale. You're gonna allow other people to have the opportunity to own this piece of history and make it available to others, or just hoard it to themselves.
Yeah, we've had the place for almost 9 years.
Wow.
And me and Connie finally decided we are selling it. And we've only had this announcement up maybe a little over a week. It's already got noticed a lot.
Yeah. Well, did you have to sell it because the walls are bleeding and through the basement you're seeing demonic claws reaching up trying to grab you and Connie and drag you down?
I think our 30 spirits told us that they're ready for the next owner.
Oh, really?
So everybody can see what we've experienced for the last 9 years.
Okay. Now, has it been a good experience for you owning a haunted location like this?
Yes, it's been a dream. Don't get me wrong. It's really hard to sell this building. We bought it. We weren't looking to buy a haunted hotel back in the day. It came to us. We decided to do it, put it out to the world, and we've had people from all over the United States. We've had people from Australia. We've had people from England that have been in our building. I even had a man, they were doing a documentary one time. He plopped a camera on my cabinet on our front lobby desk. And I looked at it, I said, that's an awesome camera. And he's like, there's only 4 of these cameras in the world. And I was like, what?
Wow.
And he goes, my camera's worth like $250,000. And I looked at him and he goes, there's one other thing. He says, do you remember that movie 1918? He says, one of the other cameras in the world that movie was filmed on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you buried that guy in your backyard and now you're the owner of that camera and now you want to move out and start a film production company?
I stood back from the camera at that point. I was afraid to touch it.
Wow.
But, we've had so many fascinating people, in the hotel. Sure. And,
well, give us a little context, Dan. What is the history of the 1886 Old Park Hotel?
It's a lot of history. Ballinger, Texas is wrapped around the Old Park Hotel building. It was probably one of the first houses in Ballinger. And what people don't realize is inside our building, there sits a 2-story house. And
Wow.
that house was one of the first houses in Ballinger back in 1886. And the reason why we use the word circa is we don't know how old this place is, for several reasons. They had a huge flood in 1905. Documents were lost. The courthouse sits right across the street. We're sitting in Courthouse Square in Ballinger, right in the center of town. Old jail that's 100 years old sits across the street from us. What's funny is we have an old picture of our 2-story house taken from behind at an angle looking towards the courthouse, and that 100-year-old jail that sits across the street is not even in the picture.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an old structure. It's got a lot of history. You guys have done a beautiful job of maintaining it. I know I was looking at the pictures that you just had from your New Year's Eve party. It's beautiful.
Oh, we have fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. And now you're putting this up. If people are interested, I mean, is there a website, a price? How do they go about communicating with you to buy this?
I'll be honest with you, we're not looking to be greedy here, but at the same time, we want fair, reasonable offers. People aren't just buying a building, they're buying a very old building. It's 10,000 square feet. We've been operating it as obviously a very popular venue business for the last 9 years. So there's a serious network that people are buying. In other words, they buy the building. We're selling 99% of what's in this building, including the network. So if somebody were to buy it, they could start business on the second day of owning this place. And our return visitors come back over and over. We've had some groups in there that have been back 20 times.
Wow.
To experience it. And, of course, Nick Gross filmed in the building. We've had it on Fright Club with Jack Osborne and the Ghost Brothers.
Right.
Ghost Brothers have been there twice. Ray Chasers have been there twice. Chad Lindbergh's been there numerous times. We're hoping one of these days you'll walk in so you can see what it's all about. Because it
Dan,
really
that's why I invited you here tonight, because I would like to make an offer. I'm willing to give you this autographed or a picture of me and my favorite Minnesota baseball cap that I've now worn on the show. So it's show worn, and I'll throw in $200 cash, all yours. You said you don't want to be greedy. I'm giving you what I make in reality TV and radio. I'm giving it all to you.
I hear you. Happy anniversary, by the way. And of course,
thank you, buddy. I appreciate
Happy New
that.
Year. Yeah.
Well, this is exciting, buddy. How can people reach out to you? Do they just make an offer? Do you have a starting point?
We're looking at all reasonable offers right now. We've received them already. We're just accepting everything. We're looking at everything for the next week. We talked with lots of people already. We're waiting for a lot of offers to come in. We're telling people if they want an opportunity, email us an offer, and we'll look at it. We can't say yet, what we're looking at accepting. Again, we want a fair, reasonable offer. We don't want lowball figures. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
People are buying a lot here. They're just not just getting a paranormal location. They're getting a great historical location. And it has 9 bedrooms, in a place that people stay in overnight. It has 4 bathrooms that work, heating, cooling, you name it. People, they hear a lot in this building. They experience a lot. We've experienced a lot. It's a wild location, and it would be a dream for anybody to own this building like we have. And basically, people can email us at our main email address, which is theoldparkhotel@yahoo.com. Old is spelled with an E, because that's in the title. They can send us whatever offer they want to send us. We'll look at everything. And we want it to go to the right people. We want it to go to the people that are going to treasure it, cherish it, the same way we have. It's hard to let go. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard to let go. We're just we're at a point of our life. We're just transitioning to other things. People were like, "Why are you selling it?" We're like, "Well, we've been doing this for 9 years. Every single weekend we're booked back to back."
Sure.
We just had so many people in there, and it's time in our opinion, it's time for new owners to, enjoy it the way we have.
Very cool. Well, Dan, we wish you a lot of continued success. Thank you for coming on and talking about the hotel, the 1886 Old Park Hotel. And you can reach out to Dan on Facebook. You can email them at their website. You can look up the 1886 Old Park Hotel on Facebook, reach out, communicate. You might be the proud owner of that hotel. And I do hope that I'll get a chance to get out there and visit Chachi and see the hotel before you guys do pass the keys over to the next owner, Stan.
It'd be great to have you all out. It really would be. That way you can see what we're all talking about here. It's a great place.
Sounds like it. Well, thank you very much, Dan. Have a great rest of your night and a happy 2025. And let us know when that buyer strikes. And, we'll talk to both of you because I'd love to hear the transition.
Great. Thank you for having me on, guys. And
You
again,
got it.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How exciting. God, that'd be cool. I know it's a little far for you.
Questions.
Like what?
First question was, he said there were 4 working bathrooms, but 9 bedrooms, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Were there some non-working bathrooms?
That's part of the mystery. That's part of the mystery.
Okay.
It's a 10,000 square foot building with 9 bedrooms, 4 working bathrooms. What more do you need to know? Plus, over 30 ghosts, this is.
I was going to ask if we did right now on the show live, asked folks if we all went into it together, we would establish like an LLC, and everybody just put in a few bucks. Could we buy it live on air?
I don't think that would happen. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, there's a lot of people that would like to jump in on it, but you and I both know we're control fiends or founds. Let's have a drink to that. It would not go well. So it's better if, it's probably just owned by somebody else and we visit and you comp us in because we're major paranormal celebrities.
Think about what happened on the show last week, right? Jesse comped me in. Remember that?
That is true. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of what happens when you
never know.
9 shows over 19 years.
Let's do this. We're up against a break. We've got to do that. We'll come back and let's do upon further review. Since we've just kind of covered all of our alien and UFO stories, I have a movie that I want to talk about, and we'll do that next right here on the Paranormal 60 News.
Did you know that radio just got a little extraterrestrial? That's right, Dave Schrader is back on radio with the Paranormal 360 every Sunday evening, 7 to 9 p.m. Central on WCCO AM 830, an Odyssey station. Just download the Odyssey app and look for the WCCO logo, follow the station, and listen live. That's the Paranormal 360 on WCCO AM 830, an Odyssey station.
All right, welcome back to the program.
You caught me getting the refill there, Dave. I apologize.
It looked like I caught you emptying the glass, getting ready for a refill.
I was asking for another.
Oh, very nice. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to do this right now.
It's time now for Upon Further Review.
For those of you new to the program, let me just explain. Upon Further Review is where we will watch a movie that, maybe it's newer, but most of the time upon further review means let's go back and look at some movies that may not have got the attention, or you may just never have heard about, movies I haven't heard about, and I would like to go and visit them, see what there is. And we've plumbed the depths of some really amazing movies that just seem to skirt past us in the mainstream. And over the holiday, my dad was visiting, and he loves movies. I love movies. And there was a horror movie I've been waiting to show him based on an extraterrestrial. Now, let me give you the basis of this movie, Chachi, and see if it sounds somewhat familiar to you. A visitor from a far-off planet crash lands in a small Kansas town. He's uncovered by a very wholesome farming family, a mother and husband that are unable to have their own children. And they take this little bundle of joy into their lives and they raise him as their own. And as he matures, as he ages, he begins to show and display powers far beyond that of mortal men. The ability to run faster than a speeding bullet, to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Does this sound vaguely familiar to you?
I could share. I don't want to ruin it, but I'm pretty sure we're talking about the movie E.T.
Not at all. Not even close. I mean, except for there's an extraterrestrial that came to our planet.
So
no,
correct.
this sounds like when I told my dad, he goes, well, what's it about? And I told him that, and he goes, we're going to watch Superman. And I said, we're going to watch a Superman adjacent movie. Now, what's great about this is that James Gunn is the mastermind behind the movie that I just watched. And I loved reviewing it. I loved going back and watching it. And I loved kind of keeping an eye on my dad out of the corner of my eye, because he still didn't know what this was all about. But James Gunn, who has been big name in the DC universe, in the Marvel universe, he is now, he was the mastermind behind the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and he's now relaunching the DC universe. David Cornsweet is his Superman, and he just introduced the new trailer that has Crypto the Superdog in it. So a lot of people are feeling nostalgic. So I wanted to revisit this movie that came out, and I thought it was genius. What if we took the Superman mythos, if we took that and we turned it on its head? We know what life would be like with Kal-El, who was born of noble blood, who came to this earth and found humble parents who raised him properly, and he became Superman. But have you ever wondered, Chachi, what would happen if maybe there was something wrong with that little boy?
How
Well,
so?
that's the movie Brightburn. Let's take a look.
Who am I? You are a gift. I know it's been difficult for you lately, that you feel different from other kids. You are different. After your dad and I got married, we prayed for a baby for so long. One night, someone listened. Brandon? You are special. We believe that you came here for a reason. He was in the barn.
Did he find it?
No. It was like he was drawn to it.
He may look like us. He's not like us.
So that's Brightburn, which is a dark twist on the Superman mythos. None of them are named after any of the Superman characters, but it is so, I guess, I don't know if this falls under parody or what, that allows them to tread so boldly on this hallowed ground. But I loved it. It's a horror movie, superhero movie, right?
I believe so. And the father was played by Shane Pittman, it looks like.
It was not.
If I'm not mistaken, that was Shane Pittman.
You were mistaken. You might want to adjust the whiskey goggles that you got on, because you are mistaken in that case. But great movie. My dad wasn't as thrilled with it. Now, my dad's almost 80 years old. I think he was expecting more of a Superman movie. He loves horror movies. He loves violence. So I was a little stymied by the fact. Now, when I first watched this movie, we watched it with our son Max, because I thought this was just going to be kind of a darker Superman movie. we live to regret that. He was, I don't know, that came out 2019, so that's 6 years ago. So he was 7 years old. And it is dark, it is moody, it is violent, and I just remember him going, I want to go to bed when the movie was over, and that was it. So he doesn't trust us now watching most movies, but important lesson was learned, and I think that it just shows you can't trust everybody.
Now, I'm a big fan of movies that are about 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
How long into this movie before the ship hits the iceberg?
Oh, I like the way you utilize that. It's pretty quick because they start, they give you that vibe, that happy, wholesome vibe, and then you start to see where things start going, because you don't get to the age of Superman. This is Superboy going bad, horribly bad.
So the villain, if you will, or the superhero, is that little boy?
Yes.
Oh,
Brandon. Yeah. And he's even created this kind of double diamond logo for himself, which is like two B's backward, but kind of in that shape of the diamond, like Superman. It's pretty well done. I think James Gunn did a good job with it. I thought when they did the Dark Knight series with Christian Bale, that they did a good version of a horror movie. There was a couple of the scenes where he was like dropping in on guys and yanking them up, taking them into the darkness. And I thought, ooh, God, they could do a horror movie with a superhero. And I don't know if James Gunn got that same excitement and vibe and thought, we should look into this, because that's what he does with Brightburn. Now, I would love to see, now that he's doing like these, the DC universe, and he's in charge of the DC universe, if there's a multiverse story, I wouldn't mind seeing Brightburn cross into Clark Kent's world and what happens. I just think it'd be a brilliant little flick. But I'll say, on a scale of 1 to 5 Phantoms, 1, it sucks, 5, it's an amazing movie, I'm going to go about a 3.5 on this. Yeah, 3.5. There you go. 3.5 Phantoms. Have you seen this movie, Chach, or no?
I've never even heard of the movie. No.
Brightburn, well worth a view. I think it's especially with the popularity of superheroes, and if you're kind of burned out on superheroes, and trust me, this was before The Boys TV series and Invincible, the cartoon TV series, which really takes superheroes to a violent place and kind of gives you a different perspective on them. James Gunn had the leap on all of them with this, so it's pretty cool. I shouldn't say that. I know that the guy behind The Walking Dead created Invincible and may have created The Boys. I don't remember, but maybe those iterations were around a while back. But it's well worth the view. So if you haven't had a chance to see Brightburn, 3.5 Phantoms out of 5. I think that's a pretty bold deal for a horror movie superhero flick.
And is there a Celine Dion song in it?
No, but if it helps you, I can come over and sing a Celine Dion song to you just before we watch the movie.
Could you sing throughout the movie, though?
If I do, I'm afraid I'll be looking at you in this position through most of it. You'll just be unconscious. You will be unconscious and no longer part of it. We've got some more stories to share. We've got some more things to do. So let's move on. Chachi, you have the next story.
I do, huh?
Yeah, I gave you a long time there to keep drinking, and you only have 2 stories left. This is your third story.
Do I get the last story? Because I like the last story.
You don't. I get the last story because it's my show. So there you go.
For now. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Uh-huh.
Are we any nearer to understanding near-death experiences? Dave, I gotta be honest. We've talked about this on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan of death. Not a fan at all.
No.
Okay. So I want to take a moment to examine the phenomenon of near-death experiences, or what I call NDEs. Are these glimpses into the afterlife or just tricks of a dying brain? So let's take a moment, explore the latest findings, and see what they could mean.
Okay.
So throughout the story now, I'm going to talk about NDEs. I'm not going to use the entire verbiage, all right?
Sure. Lazy. Okay.
Yeah, a bit. So NDEs often include vivid sensations. Some of us may speak of a tunnel of light, reunions with deceased loved ones, or perhaps just a simple feeling of peace. But scientists have long debated their origins. One popular theory of these NDEs.
One popular, what was that?
I don't know. We'll have to go back and check the tape, but I thought I said theories.
It was one popular theory of these. I'm pretty sure. I'm checking our audience reaction, but I'm pretty sure you said Thidididores.
If there's anything I know, the audience will tell us exactly what I said.
Yeah, Bonsai Warrior says drink, so we know that you hit the wall.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Music also says now drink. All right, and Alonzo, I'm chugging now, Bonds. So they're all on hands with this one. All right,
you're welcome. So I was talking about a story here a moment ago. So the instant, let me give an example. Let me just take it back for a moment, if you don't mind, Dave. Okay, I'm going to go off script here, but
oh yeah, okay, please.
Okay, so the sensation of moving through a tunnel, it might come from simply the brain just shutting down, while endorphins explain that feeling of calm.
Sure,
that makes sense.
Sure, I mean,
okay,
it's you, sure.
Okay, but here's where things get super interesting for me.
Okay.
I've read a ton of studies, probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 this week, that show that some people accurately describe events that occurred while they were clinically dead.
Huh.
My favorite study is called the AWARE study, Dave. It's where it documented cases where patients recalled details they couldn't have simply known while they were unconscious, suggesting maybe a potential connection between consciousness and something beyond the brain. You get where I'm going with this, Dave?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay. So then there are like these personal stories where one man reported meeting a deceased relative, including his own siblings, that he didn't even know existed.
Ooh.
Another woman who survived a stroke described being surrounded by loved ones, even her childhood dogs, in what she called a heavenly realm.
Beautiful.
Okay. So let me just kind of wrap up here. Right? The newest research blends science and mystery, our two favorite subjects. Well, cultural beliefs, which I'm not a fan of cultural beliefs, they shape these experiences with verifiable accounts that hint at something we can't fully explain. So are these events the brain's last hurrah or a door shutting to the unknown?
Ray Lancashire says it's the Chachi state of mind. You are, as you're getting drunker, you're becoming more lucid in your reading. I'm very proud of you. I'm very worried.
What's flaccid got to do with anything, Dave?
Well, you'll have to ask Mrs. Chachi about that. Yeah, it's very wow, don't spill. Don't spill. I don't think I know who you are right now.
Oh, Dave, it's your turn, I think.
Near-death experiences.
I need to go get a mop.
I'm worried. See, I'm worried. What if I had a near-death experience and it was one of those that like I didn't want to come back from?
Give me an example. Like what?
Well, people have said that they go there and they're embraced in this warmth and love. They see their relatives, their friends, their pets, and they just don't want to come back. And, I'm often worried. What if I do? What if I go and I'm like, yeah, I'm tipping out. I'm done.
So do you think, Dave, you have the power once you're starting to transition to pull back?
According to some, yes. And in some instances, the good Lord or the universe, Donald Duck, whoever's in charge up there, tells you it's not your time and pushes you back down.
So even though you might want to go, something pushes you back.
Yeah, and some people have a real hard time with that when they return, trying to find that feeling again. And it can be really disheartening. But you know what isn't? What?
Is it something the equivalent of the ultimate high, if you will?
Yeah, that's what they say, is that you hit this apex of love and comfort and warmth, and then you're plunged back into the reality of life. Which, aside from Monday and Wednesday nights here, is usually a cold, distant, calculating place. Thankfully,
aren't we experiencing the apex of love at this moment?
We are. That's why I said, aside from Monday and Wednesday nights, the rest of life is kind of questionable.
Is that what you meant by that?
It is exactly what I meant by that. Do you know how I know that this is the apex of love? Because we're getting messages like PJ Thompson throwing $10 our way saying, Happy New Year, Dave. Thank you for always thinking of your audience. 19 wonderful years. And then Deb from SAC says, Dave Schrader, who's better? Nobody. And throws $10.
Who's Dave Schrader? I was like,
Fair question too. Lindsay Holman, $20 super sticker. Thank you so
I
much.
haven't seen Lindsay's name before. Is she a new listener?
Yeah, you should really show up for work once in a while. It'd be great to see you.
Every
Lisa,
Wednesday, whether I like it or not.
Lisa Burgess, $4.99. Dave and Winnie, buy it. Move down here. She's trying to encourage us to buy the old
Is
park.
that the first $5 towards that in?
Yeah, apparently, because she's saying buy it and move down here. So let's see. Deb from SAC throws another $5 our way and says, sure, it's all fun and games until you get the plumbing bill.
That's those 4 bathrooms I was talking about.
That's why you don't want to open the other 3. Just 4 is good. 4 is good. And then Sarah Shaw throws $2 our way and says, what are your favorite stories? Well, they've all been favorite stories so far this year. Or were you asking?
Though?
Maybe she was asking Dan LaFave when he was here, and I just now noticed these messages. So I apologize.
Again, you show up for work, Dave.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
We should have had like an end of year review of our favorite stories.
We should have, but I'm kind of doing that on Sunday on the Paranormal 360 on News Talk 830 WCCO. I'll be going.
Not on?
Yes, it is. Well, you've not been in a lot lately this year because you've been busy and I've been busy, but well, we're going to make that work again here soon, real soon. Let's go. We've got just a couple more stories. Plus, we've got another song that I want to share and a couple of quick announcements, including the Missouri Paracon, February 28th through March 1st at the Ameristar Casino and Hotel in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm going to be on hand, as will Chachi, I've just been told. We've got Shane Pittman. So many other great speakers are going to be there. Like a ton of amazing speakers, presenters, and more. Missouri Paracon kind of stepping in to fill that void from the Michigan Paracon, which retired after last year for having the big Paracons. So come on out to the Missouri Paracon. You'll find information at darknessevents.com. Maybe you want to come out to Hauntlanta, the paranormal convention that's taking place in Atlanta, March 14th through the 16th. I'll be there. So will many other of your favorite paranormal personalities. You can get more information at hauntlanta.com or by visiting darknessevents.com. And I want to make sure that you do come on out and see me at the Paranormal Science Fair. It is a weekend-long event that we're holding at the Palmer House Hotel, Sauk Center, Minnesota. Tickets are on sale now. You got your Christmas money. You got your gifts. You're wondering what you should buy. Get yourself some tickets. Come on out and investigate with us for a weekend at the haunted Palmer House Hotel. I promise you, once you go, you'll want to go back. It's an amazing location, great activity. Plus, you've got some of the best learned teachers that'll be right there on hand. Scotty Davis is going to be there talking about crime and the paranormal. He'll also be teaching you how to develop some of your skills, whether you think you have any or not. Sarah Lemos will be there. She'll be teaching us about the paranormal and how to get in touch with your spirit guides and angels. Kevin Swanson will be there. He'll be bringing in his plethora of paranormal equipment, allowing us to investigate the paranormal. And if we're lucky, maybe he'll get up on the bar and dance to Tequila by Pee Wee Herman for us. So check it out. I'm going to be on hand. It's going to be a great time. I love doing the Palmer House event. March 27th through the 30th. Tickets on sale at darknessevents.com. We're already half sold out. Don't wait. Come on out. Join us. Be a part of the investigation.
And will I be at that, Dave?
Sorry, there's we've got a thing with the and anyway, let's talk about Bigfoot for this next story. It's a legend that's Chachi. It's captivated the adventurous and the curious for decades now. Well, sadly, this past week, a Sasquatch search ended in tragedy, reminding us of the very real dangers of chasing legends. 2 men from Portland, Oregon, decided to spend Christmas Eve looking for Bigfoot in Washington State's Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. A daring adventure, right? But when they didn't return, alarm bells began to ring. A massive search with over 60 volunteers combed the rugged wilderness for 3 days before the men's bodies were found. Authorities say exposure to the harsh winter conditions were the cause. This is a heartbreaking story, and it's a stark reminder that while the allure of Bigfoot is undeniable, nature's wilderness is not to be underestimated, my friends. The Pacific Northwest, a hotspot for Sasquatch lore, is as beautiful as it is unforgiving, especially in winter. Cliff Barrickman, founder of the North American Bigfoot Center, weighed in, urging anyone venturing into the woods to be prepared. Winter adventures can quickly turn perilous without the right gear and planning. And as much as we'd all love to stumble upon a Bigfoot, safety, friends, has to come first. So, Darklings, Let's honor their adventurous spirits while remembering the importance of preparation when exploring the unknown. Bigfoot will still be out there. Just make sure you are too, so that you can survive to tell the tale. And that's a real tragedy, especially with the holidays. I mean, there's never a good time for something like that to happen, but just what a...
You said that was Christmas Eve, Dave?
Yeah, on December 24th, they went out to go try to look around, and they were gone for 3 days before they were found.
That's terrible.
Yeah, heartbreaking. So please be careful. And, there are stories that come out every year of people that are breaking into old abandoned buildings to ghost hunt, and they're never seen again until the spring thaw. And turns out that they went in and fell through a hole in the floor they didn't see because they weren't prepared with the right equipment, or, they fell and got injured and couldn't get out. And you just really need to be careful whether you're ghost hunting, UFO hunting, Bigfoot hunting. Know what you're doing, where you're at, and make sure that you've got the right equipment with you to get you out of these situations should it happen. All right, how about this? Let's cheer things up again real quick with a second dose of...
It's time now for ParaTunes. Thank you very much.
This is exciting. This is one of our favorite musicians. She's back. Gwyneth Hollow, featuring Darren Michaels, is back with a song called Lost Souls, and we've got that to premiere right here for you on the Paranormal 60 News.
Caught in a downpour, ash in the air. The day the heavens split to declare. No saints, just sinners trapped in the frame, marching through the shadows of yesterday. Life after death in a whispered breath. Lost echoes bound by the threads of fate. We dance on the edges of the unknown. A symphony played on the devil's dark throne.
Smoke drifts over the water sheet. The world a canvas painted unseen. Wherever soul finds a haunting place, mirrored reflections of a faded face. Life after death in a whispered breath. Lost echoes bound by the threads of fate. We dance on the edges of the unknown. A symphony played on the devil's dark throne. Whispers of the past and the cold night. Come along and there's something out there beyond the silence where the lost souls tread. An eternal ballet among the wrongs. Under the moonlight's mournful glow, we wonder where the lost ones go. In the stillness, hear the chimes of ghostly bells, carving stories only the dark can tell. Life after death, a whisper breath, lost echoes bound by the threads of fate. We dance on the edges of the unknown, a symphony played on the devil's dark throne. In the infinite loop where time restarts, we're just cosmic dust with beating hearts. Each life a whisper in the winds of forever. Lost souls, entwined, departing never.
Are you eating during the show again?
It's that point in the show where I realize if I don't nibble on something, it's going to go dastardly wrong here in the next 5 minutes.
But this is your last story. This is where it's supposed to go wrong. This is what you beg me for.
Listen. First off, that was a great song. Who was that by?
Oh my gosh, Gwyneth Hollow, and she had a very special guest, Darren Michaels, featured on that song, "Lost Souls."
Lost Souls, and we've had them on before, right?
Gwyneth Hollow, yeah, she sent in a bunch of songs. She's great, and the audience loves her. She's got a beautiful, almost effervescence voice, right? It's got that kind of effervescence.
No, evanescence.
That's what I said. Evanescence.
2 points for Chachi. Cheers, everyone.
2 points. It took you twice to say it before you could figure out the right one too.
That's why I get 2 points. It took me twice to say it.
All right, that seems fair. You've got a story to share, Chachi. Where are we going now?
My last story?
It's your last story, yes.
Ever?
For tonight.
Potentially. Okay. Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one I really love. Big fan of London, the city, not the person.
Sure.
This is about the haunting of Westminster's Grey Lady and ghostly intruders. Not Bigfoot, Dave.
Sorry, wrong picture. Let me clear that out.
No worries.
Let's have a drink. Let's have a drink for my wrong picture.
You've only been doing this 19 years, Dave.
Yeah, I know. It's tough.
Okay, here we go. A recent revelation has emerged from the historic halls of the Palace of Westminster in London, England. Joanne Crowder, a senior aide to the House of Commons Speaker, and probably the most senior aide that I'm even aware of, has shared her encounters with the supernatural during her 30-year tenure. Now, you know those folks over in the UK, they are very tight-lipped about these kind of things. So the fact that she's speaking about it, we're about to learn something we've probably never heard before. Ms. Crowder recounted an eerie experience involving a mysterious Grey Lady apparition. While walking through Parliament after dark, she noticed a reflection in a glass panel, a face that resembled hers, but wasn't. Upon turning around, she found no one there, leaving her to ponder the identity of this spectral figure. In addition to the Grey Lady, Miss Crowder described feeling the presence of a ghostly dog nuzzling up to her in one of Parliament's ancient side rooms. She also mentioned a colleague who, years ago, claimed to have been lifted off his feet and thrown against a wall in the underground car park by an unseen force. Now, in America, we call a car park a garage, Dave. But over there, they call it the car park. And at the
garage.
I'm sorry?
Or the garage.
Garage.
Yeah.
Okay. The Palace of Westminster, with its what? What is that? Not what it's called?
Palace of Westminster.
Dave, it's the last story at night.
I know, Westminster. It is.
With its rich history spanning over a millennium. How many years is that, Dave?
It's shy of 2 millennium, but a little more than half a millennium.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Has long been rumored to host spirits from the past. Theories about the Grey Lady's identity range from historical figures like Queen Elizabeth I to more recent personalities such as Margaret Thatcher.
Recent? Didn't she die in like 1989?
She was like a peer to Ronald Reagan, right?
Something like that, yeah.
For those of you kids that were born after 1970, Ronald Reagan was a president back in the 80s.
So you say.
I've read stories. But most importantly, Dave, these accounts add to the tapestry of ghostly tales associated with one of the world's most iconic political landmarks, reminding us that history often leaves behind more than just stories. It leaves echoes.
Echoes.
See how I did that?
Echoes. Yeah, I like that.
I tried that.
I think what I liked more, I kind of wish I could split screen, show the picture and still show you, because there are times you get so into your stories, you're like feeling yourself up. I don't know what was going on there, but you were just like, you were Prince performing.
Don't you just feel the story inside?
Jesus, I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
One of these days, we're going to have to do a full-bodied show.
No, we're never going to do that.
No, those are the best.
Well, if you come on the Jericho cruise and be a part of the Jericho cruise, I'm just saying we could do
Tell me
another
more.
live stage presentation.
Not doing that again. Nope.
Yeah, you should.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
The full Chachi, I think we called it. All right, buddy. Believe it or not, our final story of the night is here. Let us begin. Let me
Can I
take
just
you. What?
Rather than you telling the story, how
Yeah.
about you put that picture back up and I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Not that picture. No. The other one.
I
I was thinking I might die on that picture. Let me tell you.
No, I'd really rather you don't weigh in on this picture because I'm afraid it could go 18 different ways. I don't want any of them. So let's
All
go.
right.
Let me tell you about a little bizarre and unsettling event that's been making headlines in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Just days before Christmas, a woman named Carmelia Jeffries, age 36, reportedly set her own apartment ablaze, claiming it was part of a satanic ritual. Her reasoning? She believed she was surrounded by witchcraft traps and was trying to rid herself of them. Yep. You heard me.
So wait,
The fire
she was
erupted.
in the apartment and set it on
Yeah.
fire?
Yeah, because she was surrounded by witchcraft traps and she was worried about them. The fire erupted on December 21st, which is, as we all know, the equinox or something. I'm horrible
Summer
at that.
solstice.
Yeah, the December solstice. But fortunately, firefighters managed to contain the blaze before it spread further. Thankfully, nobody was injured. When questioned by authorities, though, Jeffries confessed that the fire was deliberate and tied to what she described as spiritual dangers lurking in her home. Yeah. She's now in the Milwaukee County Jail with bail set at $7,500 cash. She's facing a court date on January 24th, and authorities continue to investigate the full details, but this incident highlights the complex ways people can interpret and react to spiritual or supernatural beliefs. And what's really striking is how the concept of witchcraft, often seen as either a spiritual practice or folklore, played such a pivotal role in this situation, while many modern practitioners of witchcraft celebrate it as a nature-based or spiritual path. So it's misunderstandings like these that often fuel sensational stories. And this one leaves us with questions about, how fear and belief can sometimes lead to very dangerous outcomes. So stay tuned on this one, Darklings. We'll keep exploring stories that sit at those crossroads of the supernatural and the extraordinary. And when we get an update on her, oh my goodness, when we get an update on her case, we will definitely revisit and talk about it and see what there is to be found.
How much was her bail?
$7,500. Why did you want to kick in?
And you only got to pay 10% of that, right?
I'm not sure, as it's been a long time since I've done time.
I would just like to interview her. That's where I was going. If I paid her bail, would she let me interview her? I've got questions.
I bet you do. She'd probably do it for a Zagnut bar and a can of Diet Coke. Just if I'm being honest with you, I'm going to guess. I'm going to throw it out there. Speaking of throwing it out there, 1999 coming from one of our favorite moderators, Thesis himself. Congratulations, brother. So much love and respect. Been listening since the beginning, and I'll be here for the next 19 years. Well, I'm planning on doing 21 more. So thanks for quitting just as I get to that level, and only 2 years left. But whatever.
Why would you leave right before you stop? I don't get that.
I don't know. People are crazy. Music throws $5 our way and says, Happy New Year and happy anniversary. Love you guys. And Lisa Burgess throwing another $1.99 our way and says, it makes Westminster. Westminster.
Is that what I said?
It kind of. Yeah, it was very exciting. That's it, Chach. The news is done. We're at the end of the ride for the launch into our 4th season, episode 308. It's been a pleasure, as always, working with you, Chach. Thank you so much. I don't know when we'll get the chance to have you back on the show because things are crazy in your schedule. Things are crazy in my schedule. But I will be back with Greg and Sweet Tea. Hopefully the Colonel will eventually get furloughed and we'll be allowed to talk to him again after he stops hunting down drones or whatever nonsense he's a part of. But we wish him well. Chachi, Happy New Year, buddy. And I hope that 2025 is filled with lots of love and success for you.
Back at you, Dave. Thanks for having me on, man. I love doing this. We're doing it, I don't know, 27, 28 years now, whatever it is. And
19 is, like I've mentioned 42 times.
And thanks so much for inviting me on. I love seeing the comments, as everybody knows. I love doing this show. I love when Sweet Tea and the Colonel and Greg aren't here. So this has been a special show for me.
It really is. That's truth is in the liquor, my friends. He's opening up his heart a little bit to us right there. Thank you, buddy. Love you. Have a good one. What a ride. What a fun ride. As we wrap up tonight's show, I really just talking from my heart. I want to take a moment and speak directly to all of you, my Darklings, my army of darkness. For 19 incredible years, you've been my companions on this journey into the unknown. And together we've uncovered mysteries. We've shared chills and maybe even found a little light in the darkness here. But none of this would have been possible without your trust, your curiosity, and your unwavering support for me. So whether you've been with me from the very beginning or just joined the adventure, you're the heart and the soul of this show. You've made it more than just a program for me. You've made it a community. So thank you for sharing your stories, your time, your lives, and your belief in what we do here. You're not only allowing me to chase my passion, but you've also inspired me to keep searching for the answers that we all seek. Thank you to my team, Chachi, the Colonel, Greg, and Sweet Tea. Behind the scenes, Bart L. and Blind Dog, and our fantastic moderators in the chat, and especially to Winnie and my kids. None of this would be possible without the love and support you guys have given me over the last 19 years. And thanks to my mom, Terry Schrader, my dad, Jimmy, and my aunt, Judy, for always keeping it spooky and always keeping it real and believing in me even when I did not. So here's to the mysteries that surround us. Here's to the magic in the world that is right outside our fingertips and we're getting closer to every day. Here's to the stories that haunt us and the many more waiting ahead. So until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and as always, stay kind. I'm Dave Schrader, and this has been my Paranormal 60. Good night.
It's Wednesday night and I'm alone. The Paranormal 60's on. It's just for paranormal freaks like me, with poltergeists and ghosts and blues and UAPs. You miss a word, you do a shot. It starts to snowball and we laugh a lot. It's just like drinking with your TV friends. I'll be passed out before tonight's show ends, dreaming the aliens are taking me away. I'll go wake up till sometime late on Saturday. It's Wednesday night and I'm alone. The Paranormal 60's on. Schrader's on. Schrader's on. Schrader's on. Sweet Tea, Chachi and the Colonel and the Paranormal Detective. All these traitors copy and they all will be corrected. He's got protective bracelets and some crazy magic tricks. Even Scully cannot save him from the voice of Stevie Nicks. Schrader's on. Schrader's on. It's Wednesday night, don't be alone. The Paranormal 60's on. Now one day Dave might even put me on the show. There's a ghost in my mom's basement, man, I live down there, I know. It's Wednesday night, don't be alone. The Paranormal 60's on. is hard.